Okay, so I am live. So good morning, thank you so much for joining me today. Apologies, it's actually a little bit after 8 this morning. I've just been sorting my toddler out. So yeah, we wanted mummy to do everything this morning. So yeah, anyway, I'm here now. So thank you so much for showing up. I'm a big believer that I think this is a joint thing. So, by you showing up, I'm showing up, and together we can really make a difference. So, I wanted to put these live meditations on in the mornings, just to help people find meditation and mindfulness. Meditation has been a huge part of my life. It's changed my outlook on things. It's enabled me to really take so much joy from all the world around me, and it's also enabled me to understand myself a lot better. So to understand, my thoughts, my emotions, and to navigate through life with a little more skill. So it's not perfect. It's definitely a working practice, but from doing meditation practices, I've just felt such a huge difference. I'm open in saying that I struggle with anxiety, although it is under control now. And meditation was one of the things that I looked into first to try and relax my body. I was having a lot of physical symptoms of anxiety, feeling shaky, I was feeling sick, I had headaches, fast heartbeat. I just felt really very unwell, and I didn't want to take any medication. I've got nothing against medication, but it wasn't for me. So I looked into relaxation and meditation, and that really, really helped. One of the wonderful side effects, so to speak, with meditation is that it's wonderfully relaxing. So not only are we developing our awareness during a meditation practice, it's also helping us to really relax our bodies, which for a lot of us, we don't give ourselves the time to rest. I say that when, people say to me during my nursing job, I'll speak to patients and then they will say, yeah, relax, I might get a bottle of red wine, I might get a Chinese takeaway and watch TV. But actually, that's not really relaxation, is it? Because while you're watching TV, that's quite stimulating. You're drinking alcohol, you're eating, so your foods, your body's working to digest that food. You're not really spending that time to relax properly, which is important to understand that when we do meditation, it really enables us to have that downtime, that time just to be still. And you don't have to sit cross-legged like me on the floor. No, you can do meditation anywhere, in any position. I think there's a really huge misconception with meditation that, you've got to be a certain type of person. It's a little bit hippie, or I don't know. There's a lot of people that are put off by meditation practices. And I just believe that meditation is for everyone. So I've called this a family meditation because I'm a huge advocate on bringing meditation into your family, whether that be with teenagers, small children, siblings. So please do invite your children to sit during these practices in the morning if they want to. Bearing in mind, the smaller they are, they will find it difficult to sit for quite long periods. So, I think with meditation with small children, it's really about introducing small things to them, and often through movement as a meditation is a really wonderful thing. So I thought that today then we'd start our meditation practice with a little bit of mindful movement, and then we'll just go into a belly breathing practice. So, yeah. Anyway, if you are ready, then we shall start. If you can find somewhere comfortable, I have said mindful movement, so don't worry, we are not going to be getting up and moving around. We're just going to be sitting today. And I want you to just find somewhere comfortable to sit in an upright position if possible. If you're still in bed this morning, well done. It's Mother's Day, so for those mums out there, happy Mother's Day. So yeah, find somewhere comfortable to sit. I'm going to actually pop a cushion behind my back here. Sorry, my voice is not great this morning. Okay, so mindful movement then is a really wonderful thing that we can do. We can do on our own, we can do with our children, we can do anywhere because it's just movement and it's movement that we pay attention to. So it's really, really simple. All you have to do is just focus on what you're doing. So the idea of this is, as with all mindful practices, is to help bring your awareness into the present moment, into right now. Because for a lot of us, we have so many anxieties and we worry so much about lots of things that are going on that might happen in the future, and we maybe think about lots of things that have happened in the past. So mindfulness really helps to keep us grounded in this moment and really just to be with whatever's here. And when I say that, I mean, for a lot of us, we might experience uncomfortable feelings and sensations on a day-to-day basis, and mindfulness helps us just to be with that experience with kindness and with compassion, and just allowing whatever's there to be. Because often when we push things down and when we pretend that it's not happening, it only gets louder. So there's that wonderful saying in the mindfulness world, what we resist persists, and that's so true. When we when we try to ignore what's happening, it's it doesn't go away. So mindfulness helps us just to be with whatever's here. So practices like meditation, developing that awareness, but also practices in everyday life, mindful activities. So that's paying attention to whatever you're doing. It might be washing up, it might be making a cup of tea, it might be just going out for a walk with your dog in nature. But really just noticing everything about that present moment. And mindful movement is another wonderful way into awareness. Okay. So the first mindful movement then is a really simple movement. And what we're going to be doing is, as we breathe in, we're just going to be bringing our arms up. And as we breathe out, we're going to be breathing out, blowing that breath all the way out. Okay. So nice, slow movements, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And remember, as we're doing this, we're noticing what we're doing. We're noticing the breath. We're noticing these sensations. Noticing what's happening in the body. Mindful movement is really lovely to do with children. And you can just make your own mindful movements up. They don't have to be a particular way. And then relaxing, resting the hands. And just checking in with the body, noticing how you feel. How do you feel now? You have moved the body and you've been breathing a little more deeply. How does that feel? Okay, and for this next mindful movement then, what we're going to be doing is, as we breathe in, we're going to be making our hands into fists, okay? So we're going to be breathing in, and breathing out. Opening the hands up with the out breath. Breathing in, and breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Just continue to do this while I'm talking for a moment. So as we're moving the body in this way, Again, we're noticing the sensations that we're feeling. We're noticing the breath, slowing that breath down, which is really going to relax the body, regulate that nervous system. And a lot of the time, when we're anxious, we move into what we call our sympathetic state. This is our anxious state, our state of mind, state of body, when we're prepared to fight, when we're very anxious. And when we do practices such as these, we're moving ourselves into what we call the parasympathetic. So this is all the lovely relaxed states that our body can move into, which for a lot of us, if you're in a heightened state of anxiety, that doesn't happen. You're operating more in the sympathetic state a lot of the time. Okay, and relaxing the hands now. Okay, so we're just going to do 2 mindful movements today, but please do experiment with that. Take that out into the day with you, wherever you are. And gently now closing the eyes if they're not already closed. And just noticing the breath. Remember, in mindfulness, we're not changing the breath in any way. We're just noticing what's happening as we breathe. What movements are there in the body. Noticing the gentle rise and fall of the shoulders, the chest or the belly. Noticing the warm and the cool air at the nose. And a really great practice to do with children, if there are any little ones watching today, is to imagine that there's a balloon in the belly. And this is great to do with adults as well. So as you breathe in, and that balloon can be any colour you want it to be. And as you breathe in, that balloon is expanding, getting bigger and bigger. And as you breathe out, that balloon is deflating, getting smaller and smaller. That wonderful balloon expanding and getting bigger and bigger and subsiding, getting smaller and smaller. So this wonderful visual is great for adults, but it's also great for small children. Using your imagination during meditation can really help, especially if your mind is busy. And it's normal for the mind to be busy, you know, we're not trying to empty our mind of thoughts. There's a wonderful analogy in the mindfulness world, and it talks about this idea of the mind being like a blue sky. And the clouds in the sky representing the thoughts that we have. And some days that sky is dark and gloomy, stormy and rainy. And other days that sky is sunny and clear. But whatever the weather, that blue sky is always there. And this is a really great analogy because it helps us to remember that our thoughts that we have, they're just thoughts. They come and they go. Sometimes they're real, sometimes they're not. But ultimately, behind all of those thoughts is that clear blue sky, that calm state of mind that's available to all of us. And mindfulness helps us to recognize. It helps us to essentially train the brain in the skill of recognizing and noticing that our thoughts are changeable, they're not fixed. So we're just going to be noticing the breath then, just for a few minutes together now. Still paying attention to that breath. A really great thing that you can do in meditation is to imagine that you are a pebble. And as silly as that sounds, this is really helpful to imagine this idea of the pebble being dropped into a river, floating all the way down and hitting the bottom, resting on the bottom of the river, on the floor, in stillness, and allowing everything to pass by. The water, anything that's floating by in the river, just to pass by, while all the while you're like this pebble, still. So I wonder if you want to maybe bring that idea into your mind. Or maybe you just choose to focus on the breath this morning. Remember, it's very normal for the mind to drift away. You know, you might be sat here now or lay down, thinking and planning, worrying, thinking, am I doing this right? You know, why is my mind so busy? That's okay. In the mindfulness world, we like to bring so much compassion and kindness to our experience. So give yourself a break. If your mind's busy, it's busy. That's okay. Whenever you remember, whenever you notice, bring your awareness back to the breath and back to this moment. How wonderful is it to sit or to lie today in stillness? We don't do this often enough, do we? We don't stop. And gently allowing the eyes to open now. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this practice to a close. And maybe today, thinking about something that you may want to take forward from this practice, it might be that you choose to be a bit more mindful throughout your day today. Maybe choosing to notice what's good. There's a wonderful practice that we do called seeking out the treasure of pleasure practice. It's a wonderful practice. But yeah, so just notice what's good. It might be that you choose to take a walk today. You know, it's Mother's Day. There's so many families probably going to be out walking today. So maybe just noticing your surroundings more and paying attention more to people passing by, just to smile at a stranger. I mean, that's amazing, that sense of connection, smiling. There's so much research actually behind smiling, that just by smiling now. In fact, I want you to do that. Just smile. Just smile right now and see how that makes you feel. Instantly, you might be feeling a little bit happier just by smiling. There's a lot of research to show that even if you're not feeling very good, just smiling can actually help lift your mood and help to make some changes in the body. So maybe just doing something like that today might be helpful. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you've enjoyed this practice. I think we've gone a little bit over today, but hey, I've got time, and yeah, I hope that it found you today when you needed it. And please join me tomorrow at 8 o'clock for our morning meditation. Remember, this is live every single day. Share with your friends, share with your families, bring your children. For those of you watching overseas, you know, this is a wonderful practice. However, do remember it's 8 o'clock UK time. So yeah, I will leave it there. So I'm going to end the stream on here, and I'm live on Instagram, so I'm going to end that in just a sec. I'll see you tomorrow, guys.